Hello and welcome. Ready yourself for 31 exciting challenges that will test your knowledge. What is the primary reason Earth experiences different climates? Tilted axis. Moon's orbit. Sun's size. The correct answer is tilted axis. Here's an interesting fact: Earth's axial tilt causes varying sunlight angles, creating different climates. What is the axial tilt of the Earth? 23.5 degrees, 45 degrees, 10 degrees. The correct answer is 23.5 degrees. Here's an interesting fact: Earth is tilted at 23.5 degrees, which affects how sunlight hits the surface. What would happen if Earth had no tilt? No seasons. Longer days. No gravity. The correct answer is no seasons. Here's an interesting fact: without tilt, sunlight would always hit evenly, removing seasonal changes. In which direction does Earth rotate? West to east, east to west, north to south. The correct answer is west to east. Here's an interesting fact: Earth rotates from west to east, making the sun appear to rise in the east. What is perihelion? Earth's closest point to the sun. Earth's farthest point. Sun's surface. The correct answer is Earth's closest point to the sun. Here's an interesting fact: perihelion occurs around January 3rd when Earth is closest to the sun. When is Earth at aphelion? July, January, March. The correct answer is July. Here's an interesting fact: aphelion is when Earth is farthest from the sun, usually in early July. What part of Earth receives the most direct sunlight? Equator, poles, mountains. The correct answer is equator. Here's an interesting fact: the equator gets direct sunlight year-round, causing warmer temperatures. Which layer of the atmosphere protects us from UV rays? Ozone layer, troposphere, stratosphere. The correct answer is ozone layer. Here's an interesting fact: the ozone layer absorbs most harmful ultraviolet radiation. What is a sunspot? Cool dark spot on sun. Hole in the sun. Star near sun. The correct answer is cool dark spot on sun. Here's an interesting fact: sunspots are cooler regions on the sun's surface caused by magnetic activity. What are solar flares? Explosions on the sun. Lights in sky. Tides. The correct answer is explosions on the sun. Here's an interesting fact: solar flares are sudden bursts of energy from the sun's surface. What is the name of the sun's outermost layer? Corona, photosphere, core. The correct answer is corona. Here's an interesting fact: the corona is the sun's outer layer and is visible during a solar eclipse. How does the sun affect satellites? Solar storms can disrupt signals. It pulls them in, heats them only. The correct answer is solar storms can disrupt signals. Here's an interesting fact: high solar activity can disturb satellite communication and GPS. What type of energy does Earth receive from the sun? Radiation, sound, kinetic. The correct answer is radiation. Here's an interesting fact: the sun emits radiation including visible light, UV, and infrared. What is the sun's core responsible for? Nuclear fusion, cooling, solar wind. The correct answer is nuclear fusion. Here's an interesting fact: the sun's core produces energy through the fusion of hydrogen atoms. Which season begins when the northern hemisphere is tilted away from the sun? Winter, summer, spring. The correct answer is winter. Here's an interesting fact: in winter, the hemisphere receives less direct sunlight in shorter days. What is the duration of one solar day on Earth? 24 hours, 23 hours, 26 hours. The correct answer is 24 hours. Here's an interesting fact: a solar day is the time it takes for the sun to return to the same position in the sky. What happens to shadows during the day? They change length and direction. They stay the same. They disappear. The correct answer is they change length and direction. Here's an interesting fact: shadows move and grow/shrink as the sun moves across the sky. What is the sun classified as? Yellow dwarf star, supergiant, red dwarf. The correct answer is yellow dwarf star. Here's an interesting fact: the sun is a yellow dwarf, a medium-sized star. How old is the sun? About 4.6 billion years. 1 billion years. 100 million years. The correct answer is about 4.6 billion years. Here's an interesting fact: scientists estimate the Sun formed 4.6 billion years ago. What is the Sun's approximate surface temperature? 5,500 degrees Celsius, 10,000 degrees Celsius, 1,000 degrees Celsius. The correct answer is 5,500 degrees Celsius. Here's an interesting fact: the photosphere, or surface, is about 5,500 degrees Celsius. What happens during an annular solar eclipse? The Sun appears as a ring. Total darkness. Only the Moon appears. The correct answer is, the Sun appears as a ring. Here's an interesting fact: an annular eclipse occurs when the Moon is too far to fully cover the Sun. What's the main component of solar wind? Charged particles, water, light beams. The correct answer is charged particles. Here's an interesting fact: solar wind is made of particles like protons and electrons flowing from the Sun. Which direction does Earth orbit the Sun when viewed from above the North Pole? Counterclockwise, clockwise, vertically. The correct answer is counterclockwise. Here's an interesting fact: Earth orbits the Sun in a counterclockwise direction. What causes the apparent movement of the Sun across the sky? Earth's rotation, Sun moving, clouds. The correct answer is Earth's rotation. Here's an interesting fact: Earth's spin makes the Sun seem to move from east to west. What is the name of the boundary between night and day on Earth? Terminator, shadow line, dark edge. The correct answer is terminator. Here's an interesting fact: the terminator line separates the sunlit and dark sides of Earth. Which part of Earth receives the least sunlight? Poles, equator, oceans. The correct answer is poles. Here's an interesting fact: the polar regions receive the least direct sunlight due to the angle of the Sun. What is solar noon? When Sun is highest in the sky. Midnight sun. End of sunset. The correct answer is when Sun is highest in the sky. Here's an interesting fact: solar noon is the point when the Sun reaches its highest angle for the day. What causes the reddish color during sunset? Scattering of light. Sun cools down. Moon rises. The correct answer is scattering of light. Here's an interesting fact: light scatters more at low angles, showing red and orange hues. How long does sunlight take to reach Earth? About 8 minutes. 1 second. 1 hour. The correct answer is about 8 minutes. Here's an interesting fact. Light from the sun takes around 8 minutes and 20 seconds to reach Earth. What is the heliosphere? Bubble around the solar system. Sun's fire. Space wind. The correct answer is bubble around the solar system. Here's an interesting fact. The heliosphere is a vast region of space influenced by the solar wind. How does the sun help regulate Earth's water cycle? By causing evaporation. By creating rain. By freezing oceans. The correct answer is by causing evaporation. Here's an interesting fact. Sunlight heats water bodies, leading to evaporation and rain formation. Thanks for watching. We hope you enjoyed the video and found it helpful. Stay tuned for more exciting content, and we'll catch you in the next one.